so that it doesn't cut out. Um, yeah,
Wonderful.
almost ready to go. And yeah, I just need about 2 more minutes, and then I can, show my face and be more present.
Okay, wonderful. I think that we're gonna start. Mama D, we're gonna start. Let me then just wait for someone just to move out, and then we can start the session. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Without any waste of time, we are going to, of course, give everyone a moment to have the session. I just want to quickly fill the door. Okay, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Today is a session that is going to be focusing on the resilience, the resilience, and come up and have many stories around what women are facing, and also what programs and initiatives they're doing in order to combat the challenges that they are facing. So today is really a time for us to reflect, to also be part of the solution, as well as be part of a moving conversation about transforming, the world that we want to see. So without any waste of time, my name is Mordecai. I'm from an organization called MNF, and MNF basically focuses on, discussions like this, programs like this, that speak to transformation, that speaks to, tangible, touch. I know we're using technology today, but you want to see people, you want to feel their energy, you want to see what what is affecting them, and how you can make it better. And the foundation is really there to find those solutions, and also make the world a better place. And starting off from South Africa, we are privileged today to have an incredible representatives of our universe, if I may call it, our globe, that are speaking, that are living, that are breathing transformation and discussion around, the resilience of women and youth and our community in general. So today we are, of course, celebrating Women's Month in South Africa. But furthermore, what we are doing also, we are making this celebration much more different than usual. And that's why everyone is here. I would like to give everyone an opportunity to first introduce themselves, just a quick 1 minute, quickly introduce yourself, and then we are going to go into the presentation. And we'll take it from there. So without any waste of time, I will ask that everyone introduce themselves, and then also what is their favorite color, just to spice it a little bit. So my name is Mordecai, and my favorite color is blue. Thank you. Anyone else? Or maybe I can nominate Mama D. Yes.
Okay, I'm Di. Lovely to meet everybody. My favorite color, well, rainbow, of course, Rainbow Nation. Oh, and
Awesome,
I will
awesome.
nominate Aussie.
Hello, can everyone hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can. Amazing. Yeah, my name's, friends call me Aussie, so you guys can all call me Aussie. Longer name is Asan Koyobede. I'm a researcher at the University of Cambridge, and a comic book artist. I don't know if you're comics. My favorite color is also blue, but I'll be more specific, like a sky blue.
Who are you nominating, Aussie?
I nominate, let's go Neo.
Neo, your mic is off.
Oh, sorry about that. I was saying my name is Nao Mangana, and I'm the founder and CEO of Coliseum Group. We're invested in education and training within the ICT space. And my favorite color is purple. And I'll nominate Casa. Can go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Neil. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Kasa Maksudi. I am a postdoctoral researcher at the Resilience Research Center in Canada. My favorite color is blue. I'm a huge football fan, so Chelsea Football Club all the way. So blue, and I nominate Silikanye.
Hello guys, my name is Lekanye Solide. I'm the founder of Pewe Africa Agri-Digital Institute. I'm a researcher, a data analyst, and indigenous knowledge system custodian. My favorite color is red. Thank you. I believe I need to nominate Linda.
Hi everyone. My name is Linda Nelima. I'm a doctoral researcher at the University of Leicester. And my favorite color, actually I have a few. Personally, I love red. And then my children love blue and purple. So they became also my favorite colors. So I love the three of them. Thank you. I nominate this other
I think
two.
we've got everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for your introduction. We won't waste time. We'll just get straight into the conversation. I would like to please ask that we start with Dr. Kasa, who will have 10 minutes. I'll start the timer just now. And then, of course, if it's later, I'll probably just alert a little bit and say we need to just finish. But thank you so much, Dr. Kasa. I'd like you to please join in the conversation and let's hear what you've got. Would you like to present, or is this an oral presentation? Thanks.
I think it's more oral. I guess the question that was asked was what was the most important evidence takeaway from multisystemic resilience. And resilience, really, in a nutshell, in very simple words, is basically our ability as human beings, whether it's a child, whether it's a youth, because a lot of the current research that we're doing, at least that I've been trying to do, is and we've been doing with Dai and the team, and just is on youth resilience. But it's just resilience is basically, in very simple words, the ability of children, people, youth, the ability for them to thrive or just function normally, despite the adversity, the challenges they face on an everyday, on an everyday basis. So, for example, and I'll speak to the South African context because I've lived in South Africa for so many years, and I know the context of just basically how life is in South Africa, for example. And now, as an immigrant, well, I am an immigrant for the second time now in Canada. There's so many challenges that people face, and whether it's and being Women's Month, I'm going to basically speak about just a lot of the crimes or violence against women that we face in the country, but just in general, like all over the world. So people's ability, or women's ability, women and girls' ability to just continue functioning, or just finding ways on how they can improve themselves despite the challenges that we face. So you might be someone who's experienced childhood abuse, whether it's childhood abuse, whether it's sexual, and this could be sexual, physical, verbal, psychological, sexual abuse growing up. And it's obviously not only something that women or girls go through, also boys and men also go through these things, but just basically, and having the resources or systems. And this is something that is really big, especially in terms of multisystemic resilience, is having, it's not that it's something that you as an individual are able to do on your own, that it's just you're born with this ability to just fight the world and just make it through life, and just, I wouldn't say, like, just succeed and just live a normal life despite everything that you faced. And in the world of today, honestly speaking, it's challenges never cease to happen. So we're always going through challenges, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in family dynamics, family relationships, just generally, like even environmental issues also are adverse challenges that people face. So basically having these systems, whether it's family, whether it's institutional resources, whether it's having a healthy environment for people to live in, whether, and I was writing a paper with a few other colleagues, and just having an example in one of the sites that we were doing the research on is actually youth having spaces, recreational spaces, the library, or a sports, somewhere to play sports in, was something that actually helps people with their resilience, because it all those things just really come together. It's called, when things interconnect, um, when you have all these resources coming together, acting together, they really help in terms of um, helping people navigate and find ways to just continue living, and not just living to survive, but living to thrive and making the best out of what they have or what they've gone through. So for me, that's one of the biggest takeaways from multisystemic resilience. It's not, and I think it really does borrow from other theories of intersectionality, of ecological systems. I know I'm going all theoretical, but just it goes back to understanding that we don't live in silos, and there are a lot of, yes, there are a lot of factors across different systems that affect us negatively, but also there's also all these amazing interconnected systems and factors that come together. And especially for me, at least in my research or in my work, like the importance of having good social support, social, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's just having someone who's working in the system, whether it's social workers, whether it's medical professions, whether even having like someone within the police force, or having these resources where someone actually feels heard and understood, and having people actually come together and help a person through. And obviously people also have their own personal resources. They can be tough, and they can push away mentally, like a lot of the noise that is going on. But as much as you have all these amazing positive qualities about yourself, which, like, I can go through anything, but you do really need to have all these other people or systems in hand to help you really thrive as a human being. So yeah, that's me. I don't know.
That's beautifully said, Casa. Really fantastic. I mean, Linda's come to resilience really almost by accident through the work that you've been doing, Linda, and it's been really tricky, isn't it? Because you've seen lots of different types of coping. Could you say a couple of things about the work that you've been doing to give people a bit of an understanding, a bit about the gender, and then some of your reflections on resilience, and then if that's okay, Mordecai, I'll just sort of sum up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh yes, please. Oh yes, please.
Sorry, are we okay?
Yep, go for it, Linda.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, my research is about small-scale gold mining in Kenya and the long-term environmental and human impact it has on the people, especially the use of sodium cyanide, the use of mercury, and also the use of ammonium nitrate. These are the chemicals that are used in the processing of gold. So I would say that intersectionality, as Kasa said, was one of the issues that I looked at. And I say that Makalda, it's called the Makalda community in Kenya. They have different ways on how they're coping with their issues, because the main issue is that there's no alternative to mercury use at the moment from the research. And the community have been practicing gold mining since the 1963. So the mercury has bioaccumulated in the air, in the food, and also in the miners' body. So they're having a lot of health-related issues. But under all these circumstances, they have developed, I call them coping mechanisms, or maybe adaptation. And I'll say that one of them is what came out from my research was at the individual level, as Kasa has said, the personal strengths, coping strategies, even the mental health and physical capacity play a role on the miner's well-being and building of resilience. But as a miner, they don't, they are not existing in a vacuum. They have the community. So how are the cultural practices in that community, the community connection, the peer networks, and even the family support also help an individual to cope with this adversity? And also I looked at the institutional level. What are the government support that is there, the healthcare access to healthcare, because as I shared earlier, we have gender division of labor, and access to healthcare came out as one of the issues, because even the healthcare itself cannot measure or test the mercury level in the miners, but they don't have the capacity. So how are they navigating this? And then the education level and even the legal system. How is the Kenyan Constitution coming in? How is the Minimata Convention coming in and protecting the miners from the use of mercury, and also the other stakeholders like the NGO, the CBOs in the area? And also because I have an environmental aspect. So this is already a toxic environment. How do we create safe spaces for children, for example? How do we create other economic opportunities, or even just the infrastructure in the area? So from my research and from that context, the biggest question was what will happen when institutions fail? And as I said, the four issues about the individual, the community, the system, like institutions, and the environment are the multi-sector that now needs to work together to ensure that community has resilience. But in this context, the system has failed. So how are the community coping with the issues? So one of the things that I had to relearn, as I have said, I didn't focus on individual strength because I find it harmful. Because if I focus on individuals, it will ignore like the structural problems that needs fixing. Sometimes it blames the individual for their circumstances, because somebody was asking why are they still practicing small-scale gold mining, why are they still using mercury, but it's beyond the individual, it's the structural, and they need a transition. They need help to transition from mercury use. And then also the institutions sometimes avoid accountability and responsibility. So under this context, it perpetuated like a circle of harm and neglect. So the conclusion that I came up with, resilience without structural support becomes a burden and not a strength. In this mining, the small-scale gold mining context is not for everyone. So in this context of my research, that's what I came to get out of it. And then the other thing that came out of, as I said, I didn't expect the community, because I spent like 12 months with them. That's 1 year. So the moment I interacted with them and built the rapport and became one of them, I was doing participatory participation and observation, and they felt being one of them. I spent a lot of time with them. They opened up to me and said, for them, they're tired of being researched. They're a highly researched community, and they're always tired because like NGOs come to train them, the government comes to train them about the dangers of mercury. They are shown pictures of sick children, so they're like being reminded that they're going to die because of living in such a toxic environment, and at the same time being exposed to mercury. But they said they got tired, but they accepted their fate, and now they started like performing for the external audiences. But internally, they're hiding their suffering. So they hide their pain to maintain their dignity, and also they say they hide it so that they access the support that the NGOs might have brought. You know, this tokenism, they come once and they disappear, take photos, disappear. That is it. And then also some say they feel pressurized to appear resilient, you know, to meet expectations. But the biggest thing they were carrying was the emotional labor that was not being recognized. So that's a takeaway for me. And then this also taught me, key takeaway, another thing is resilience without a genuine support can also turn into collective trauma for them. That's what I got from that. But it's not the end, because as I said, they said also they have accepted the issue. So from my own context, or from what I can take away from that, is sometimes acceptance is the most resilient response available in such context. And I will not say that all hope is lost, because the community, as I said earlier, they have a compassion economy for them. I call them compassion economy. They shared the gold with the disabled, the sick, and the elderly, or anybody who needed help. So what they will mine, they will share with others. And also they organize welfare groups within themselves for mutual support. And when we have like mine collapsing and people dying, or people are being affected, they usually fundraise for medical and funeral expenses. And also they created informal social protection systems. So this showed me that even in the most challenging circumstances, people, and in this context, minors, can still create systems of care and mutual support. And for me, this is where true resilience lives. So, Di, I don't know if I answered.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. As always, I learned so much from listening to you and Casa and colleagues talking about the work that you're doing and the reflections that you're pulling away from it. And I think just to kind of sum up,
thank you.
it's really interesting, isn't it, Mordecai? I think the thing that I would take away is, for me, resilience is like, imagine an individual person, they're singing, they've got an amazing voice, and they're singing and everybody's kind of enjoying the music. And that's great. That's not to take away from their voice. They're still an amazing singer. They still sound wonderful. But that's not resilience. Resilience is where you have a whole orchestra, and each orchestra has your part of the orchestra has a different, role to play. The drums doing something, the strings are doing something else, the trumpets are doing something else, but they're all bringing something. And I think what I don't yet understand about resilience, and the thing that I'm trying to learn, is which bit of the orchestra makes most difference. So if I'm a woman, I'm standing at a taxi stop or at a bus stop, and someone makes a crude comment about me, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Yes, there's something in me, in resilience, we would call it a rugged quality. There's something in me, I'm quite loud and stroppy, and I'm an old lady now. So I can tell some silly boy, you know, what I think about him, and he'll get a very clear message, and I feel quite confident in being able to defend myself. And that's a rugged quality that I have, and that's great. That's not to take away from that. But ultimately, it would be so much better if there was good lighting at that taxi stop, or I felt safe because there were a bunch of other people around me at that taxi stop, or it was you know, there was a camera even at that taxi stop that would make me feel safe, or even that I lived in a society where people really cared about each other. So I didn't get that kind of comment. So I'm trying to understand, because I work mainly with children and young people, I'm trying to understand how I can create systems that will enable them to grow up in a way that makes them care about themselves, care about other people, and then also, you know, defend those and help those children who are potentially abused. Gender-based violence, as Cass said, huge issue in South Africa, huge issue everywhere. So for me, the posh term that we use in resilience research is the differential impact. And Cass's boss, Mike, is the person who came up with that term. But it's basically trying to understand which bits of the orchestra makes the most difference at any one time. What kinds of music do we need to be hearing in order to help us to kind of cope when things get really, really tough, which is really what we're talking about in resilience terms. And Ozzy and I have worked together before to create a comic, I think is the best way to say it, and I'm sure we can put the link to the comic in YouTube so that other people can access it as well, which is sharing some of the learning that we've had from young people in South Africa working on this topic. And I think he's going to do an exercise with us now, if that's okay, Ozzy, that I've personally found very useful in thinking about my own resilience, and I hope that you will too. So perhaps before Ozzy kicks off, you can make sure you've got a pencil or a pen in front of you, or something that you can draw or write with. It doesn't need to be beautiful. I've done this with a stick on the ground with young people since Ozzy taught us how to do it, and had some really lovely sharing. So yeah, Ozzy, can I hand over to you?
Sure.
Wonderful.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen, and then what will happen is I will explain a little bit about the project we did, as well as what the task is going to be. So in the meantime, while I just get the screen share up, if everyone can get a pen and pad, and then we will be on our way.
I've got mine.
Right. Okay, so I'm connected in. Let's continue. Okay, so I'm connected in using the laptop, and now I'm just connecting using my phone, so I can do a screen share. Perfect. And then if I just do
I'm
this,
so
now.
glad you're doing this, Ozzy, and not me.
Let's go continue, and let's go the entire screen. Start. Yes. So is that working? Is technology working on our side?
It's coming, not quite there yet, Ozzy. I think we can see your screen, but it's blank.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got your. It looks like your phone.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is go here. Okay. So I think you can see the app on my phone, which I draw. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I can see myself present, so we're all good. Let's take this. So I'll start with a few introductions. Yeah, I teased it earlier, but the project we're working on was a comic book called Octopus Island, which was essentially showcasing the brilliant research Diane and her team have been doing around multi-resilient research. So you can see the front page of it here. Fun fact, this was all drawn on the Samsung Galaxy S24. So, you don't need to have big fancy equipment. Just get a phone with a pen, and you should be okay. the link of this I think we'll share, circulate, but we'll go down to the exercise, which was essentially one of the core aspects of the comic. So within this comic, there was a visual metaphor used to explain this multi-systemic resilience, because I feel like that can be a very complicated term for people without experience into the field. So we summarized that as basically a metaphor for like a harvest. So in this harvest, similar to so in this harvest, you have a bunch of different fruits and flora, vegetables, and these all kind of sum up and make up the harvest. And just like multisystemic resilience, you pull on a bunch of different things. As I said earlier, it's a symphony rather than a single singer. You pull on a bunch of different things in order to get through challenges and become resilient in your life. So what we're going to do is I'm going to explain some of the metaphors I've used before in this comic, and then we're actually going to draw our own harvest, for things that we use or think about to get over challenges. So to kind of prompt you and give you some ideas. In the comic, I have a harvest of things like aloe vera, which you can kind of see over here, the king pareto flower, the fruit from the baobab tree, leaves from the yellowwood tree, and they all are representing different things in the story. So you've got the yellowwood tree, which is a national tree to South Africa, referencing or referring to the natural environment. You have aloe vera, which is a very healthy and beneficial plant, referencing some of the biological advantages we have that allow us to have resilience, at birth. So when we're doing this exercise, you can think along those lines, or even more just kind of abstract. So I remember I've done this exercise before, and someone drew a pineapple because someone that they really go to and speak to for advice has their hair up, kind of like a pineapple over the head. So with the disclaimers being done, I'm going to open up a new tab. Hide all the rest. Well, actually, yeah, I'll draw it in. I'll draw it in this one. That'll make more sense. Perfect. Cool. So in this area below, I'm going to draw a new harvest, and I want you guys to join me in this activity. Again, it could be things that are things that you call upon or you reference when you want to go over challenges. Again, I have the example of a figure that maybe reminds you of a piece of fruit or flora. The idea is to be abstract with it, and it really gets us to think more deeply about who and what we use to get over challenges in life. So, yeah, let's begin.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
still there. Awesome. Thank you.
And then if one of you guys can let me know when my time is up, and we can have maybe a quick discussion about some of the stuff we're drawing.
I'm trying to remember what a cacao bean looks like, because that's chocolate, isn't it? And that's definitely a support source for me.
To be honest, what I'm drawing kind of looks like a cacao bean. I might actually change what it was supposed to be now to it. I was literally thinking peas in a pod for kind of just like, you know, my family and friends. And in the pod is probably more referring to us all going through the same like situation and being able to like, you know, have some camaraderie through it. I think of the time I was doing my undergrad degree, and there was many a moment where, you know, none of us, like individually we could not solve a problem, but together we could get through it.
I love that peas in a pod. I'm doing some grapes because, again, family support, etc. But because I'm a mom, I sometimes forget that actually we're still individuals within that bunch of grapes, and that I can't be responsible for literally every aspect of everybody's life. So that's, you know, we are connected. We are a single bunch of grapes, but we're all separate grapes.
Hmm.
Ozzy, shall we say another couple of minutes?
Yeah, sounds
And
good.
then, then we'll have time to hear thoughts from colleagues.
Maybe add some color. Why not?
I hope everybody has benefited from that quiet time as much as I did. I have to admit, I always find that so seldom in your life you get a chance to kind of just stop and just think and draw quietly. So thank you for that, Ozzy. you want to say something a bit about yours? And I don't know if anybody feels able to kind of share their drawing. Don't feel like you have to. It's not a, it's about what you get from inside, not what you share outside. But if anybody would be willing to share, that would be lovely. Let you go, Ozzy.
Sure. So one of the things I really like about this exercise is that it actually can be difficult. Because after I drew the piece in the pod, which initially came to mind, I was like, "Ooh, what else do I put in my harvest?" And then I was struggling. I was going, cycling different like things in my life and fruits in my life and trying to match them. So what I have here is the peas in the pod, which is reflecting on kind of like my time in undergrad, university, and some of the friends I still have to today. I've actually went to 2 of my friends' weddings from my graduation from undergrad in the last month. And the fact that we were all on this course together, all supporting each other, that's why I used the idea of a peas in the pod kind of metaphor for them. And then another one is one of my closest childhood friends' favorite fruit is watermelon, and that's basically the connection there. He's someone I can go to and basically just whenever I want to just pick myself up. Some of those people that that when you leave, you're gonna leave better than when you entered. He's one of those guys. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ozzy. I don't know, is anybody else on the group open to sharing their drawing? I'll just...
Yes.
Oh, good. Linda, go for it. You might have to put your camera on and hold it up to your screen or something.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not a very good drawer. I don't know.
Neither am I. It's okay.
Yeah, so I thought about it and I asked myself, what fruit can I be? And I thought about coconut. I love coconuts. And I looked at the coconut as the inner part of me. That is the coconut water inside the coconut is me with my mental health, the physiological, the spiritual, and everything. Then I looked at this fleshy part of it as my body now. Understand now the me, but I'm facing a lot of challenges. The outer shell are the challenges in life that Linda is facing, and Linda has to grow out of this. So the coconut usually falls in the ocean. Here is the water, and my ocean here is my support system. So I have the community, my family, the institutions, and everyone that will help me maneuver, because once the coconut falls in the ocean, it has to travel and maybe learn and grow. So the support system has to help Linda to come on land, and then she has to now be a coconut tree. I have to break this shell, but the community, the support system has to help me navigate through the ocean. And it's not an easy journey. As I'm traveling through the ocean, I don't know how long it takes. Maybe it will take even 10 years. But the goodness with the coconut, I have the coconut water that nourishes me as I'm traveling through the ocean. Yeah, so that's me. Sorry about the drawing. I'm very poor at that. Yeah.
That was beautiful, Linda.
So that's the resilience with me. Yeah.
Thank you. That was
Very,
lovely.
very, very good.
Mordecai, were you volunteering? Or have I just volunteered you in not a very
Yes.
good way?
No worries, no worries. So colleagues, I have I don't know if anyone can see that. It's like some sort of a yeah, it's like a lighthouse of some sort that is in sort of like a technology lighthouse that is actually not on land, actually in between water. And I think that the resilience and the expression around this is just around, that a lighthouse helps people navigate and find themselves in challenging times. And I imagined it being some sort of having an engine at the bottom that is linked to the water that actually allows it to light up. So it's just my imaginary taking full force in terms of, realizing, saying that we actually have the solutions that are out there actually with us. And if we continue to look for those answers, and actually intentionally look for them and find them, we can come from within ourselves and actually go out there and find solutions that will strengthen our resilience in a certain way. So that's my drawing, guys. Hope that makes sense.
Thanks, Mordecai. Love the technological angle, of course. Would anybody else like to share? Casa applauds.
Hi guys.
Is that you, Salakanya? Okay, go for it. Wow.
I hope you are able to see this. If they have a stinging needle, the reason why I chose this, I reflected a little bit about my journey as a human being, and seeing how being able to transition in between two spaces that are not familiar can come as some sort of a thorn in your life. However, having to have that thorn being removed is you having to rediscover yourself and your potential. I will tell you a little bit story about how my educational journey, how I moved from a village that does not even have a high school or even a clinic or a proper running water system, and having to be exposed to a city that is so vibrant and attracts people from all over the world. That came as a culture shock. So in terms of the stinging nettle, normally when you plant it, it will somehow resist to agree with the environment. But as soon as it blossoms, as soon as it grows, it becomes invasive. So resilience comes with you as a human being, having to sit back, study the environment, and see how far you can penetrate for your own achievement. Again, I would like to also look at my health journey. The reason why I end up having to come back home. In 2009, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So I struggled a lot in terms of finding proper care. I think, like you had said before, not having a correct support system can somehow make you detach from yourself, and having to draw back to nature. As thorny as I was, as untouchable as I was, because as soon as you touch the stinging nettle, it feels like you're burning, your hands are burning. So I felt like my life, to others who were willing to assist me, it was a stinging needle because they did not know much more of how to. Then it comes to again the spiritual journey that I had to take. I end up having to find myself in Botswana, a country that I was not born in, having to take sabbatical leave there. I had to learn that giving yourself to others, as much as you feel like you are not worthy, somehow can elevate you to greater heights of understanding that I may not be of use to myself right now, but the person next to me might find something useful with my journey. And having to come back home and doing all this community work, the food resilience, having to open up soup kitchens and all of that. It's like I may not be having it all. I may not be understanding my environment, but as soon as I understand my purpose as to where I am, I'm able to create better memories within the space, and then good memories again can be amplified to resilience. Thank you.
Wow, that kind of took my words. Thank you, Silikanya. Mordecai, I don't know if you have any thoughts or reflections on that, but yeah, that blew me away, really.
Wow. Yes, Prof. D, I think that definitely, yeah, there's just a lot of nice reflections from what we're hearing, and that shows the strength of women and youth and their resilience. And, this also shows that people, as much as you might think that you have limited resources, but you can do so much with what you have in your hands. And this, it just shows the potential and the ability of human to make anything from their own hands. And my reflections from this session is really, that even with the arts, you can take the arts and actually create direction, focus, and also a vision for yourself. And through this process with Ozzy, thank you, Ozzy, for the process in the session. Really, it might be just a small moment, but it made me pause for a moment and say, hey, what can I think that is out of the normal and put it to existence? And I was able to do that through this exercise. And I think that Silikanye showed it very well in terms of how she even presented. So really, this was a nice session. Thank you so much, Rosie. Thank you, Doc.
And Silikanya, I think the thing that really struck me, obviously there's a lot of rugged characteristics that you have, that you bring, that are potentially quite unique to you, that are special and we need to celebrate. But it really also made me think how much of a responsibility we have to really work together to push our governance systems, local authorities, health systems, to make them be better, to be able to provide the kind of support that we all need sometimes in life. But it sounds like you had a particularly challenging moment at that point in your life. So a lot of what I've learned from Mordecai is about the fact that you can do so much more when you're together than you can as an individual. And I think your story really made me think we need to work together to really push those systems and make them be better and make them be more transparent and make them be fairer and less corrupt, so that women, children, and everybody else, I think, in the long run will benefit. So thank you. Mordecai, I'll keep quiet now for a bit. I'm still kind of blown away by everybody's amazing reflection.
Wow. Okay. That's great. Please, I would like to also ask to those that participated in Ozzy's session. Please also, if Doc, if Prof. Azak can also share her picture, please. That would be nice. Just a little small picture, just for us to also share with our communities. Also, Silikanya, please, and everyone else that didn't maybe share their reflection, please share that. We will just create a little banner with all that art, and this will be part of the commemoration of today. Also, just to add, I think that now we'll be going into just a quick conversation between youth. I know Nero had prepared a presentation, but unfortunately he's got load shedding where he is. So I'm not sure if he's able to beam that out, but I thought that maybe for this last session, we can have, just a quick presentation from Nero, and then from there on out, from the youth perspective, and then from there on out, then maybe we can have a conversation around that. And then thereafter, hopefully, I would also ask that maybe we do a group picture with us all, so that we can also screenshot that. I've actually forgot that beginning of the session, but I realized that some people actually joined later on, but that will also be nice. Nero, are you able to jump in, sir? Hi, Nero. Okay, I think Neo might be having a bit of network issues. Neo, are you there, sir? Neo? Okay, I see it just came out. Nonetheless, we will proceed with the session, colleagues. Maybe we can just take a moment just to ask if there's any other reflections that anyone else has regarding Ozzy's presentation.
I do have a quick suggestion, and this is entirely up to you. I thought one thing that could be done to help spread this exercise to other people is maybe make a hashtag for like share your reflections and get people to upload some of their drawings online if they're comfortable with doing that, of course. If anything, I actually would prefer if they don't even explain it because you don't need to. It's you're doing the drawing for you. If you want to, you can say,
Wow,
"Oh,
wow.
it means,"
Yes.
but just different harvests of the things people think of when they think of like that multisystematic resilience in their life.
Wow, I think we can definitely start that campaign probably after this session. Let's have a little discussion around that, but let's start that conversation. I think this is one of the tools, the ways that we could perhaps just start something new, and see where it goes. But definitely, let's do that. Let's do it automatically. I see there was a hand raised. Dr. Kasa, I think you were raising your hand there.
Yeah, it was mine. I also just wanted to quickly reflect on my drawing. Terrible drawer, but I have
Yes,
a
please do.
pineapple. It's, but I will be honest. The first time, like when I thought about it, just give me a second. My son's walking in.
This is the story of my
No worries.
life.
He's fine, but he hasn't seen me though since he woke up. So
Oh, yes.
I think it's a
No
good sign. The
worries.
son has a thirst for knowledge. He wants to come and listen. I like to view it in that way.
And learn. He's seeing the drawings.
sorry about
He's
that.
also seeing the drawings.
Oh no, I
Hey.
hope he'll be a better drawer than me. But in essence, like I'll be honest, when I first started drawing, the first thing I thought of was just God simply. And I know Silikanya spoke about spirituality and Linda spoke about spirituality as well, like brief. But like for me, when I think about resilience, really, for me, I've just become overly spiritual, not overly, but I've just become more and more spiritual over the years, especially based on like, we go through a lot of things. And I think the one thing that I always, and that's why we're like, when I started thinking about the fruits and stuff like that, let me think. And then I thought about just the pineapple. I know all other fruits or whatever it is, like plants also have roots and stuff. But for me, the base, like in terms of just like the ecological, like thinking at things across different systems, what the roots for me is just God. Like, because for me, it's like He's everything and everything, and everything basically revolves around Him. And when you look at even with the challenges we go through, His presence is always there. He's omnipresent. So, and then within those challenges, there's always, and if we look hard enough, there's always people or structures or something, whether it's the ruggedness that Dai spoke about, or like the resources like family, friends, or like Selekanye and Linda spoke about, like those things are always like when you look at it, they always come in the most beautiful, most miraculous way. And even when you think about it, like when you come to a point of realization, you're like, this is not normal. This is not something that just happens by chance. So for me, when I think about it, so the prickly points on the different, I don't know, spines, whatever it is called on the pineapples, it could be representatives of the different challenges that come with the people or the supports, whatever the systems, but also the whole core as it is, like the structure in itself. It also That's the support, that's the sweet spot, that's the, so for me, that's what, and then just the leaves, it's just the different ways in which, even though you, sometimes you don't see it, but we thrive and we function in different ways. And sometimes only years later, when you're writing down like all the amazing things where you are able to achieve, when you are able to push through, that's like, so for me, that's my reflection on the fruits. And yeah, so that's me.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. No, that's wonderful. Colleagues, I see Nero might be having network challenges. Like I said, he had he's got load shedding where he is. He's all the way on the other side of the province in the Free State. And it seems, yeah, he's got a challenge, but nonetheless, Dr. D, I just wanted to find out if you wouldn't mind if we could just do a quick video, screen recording of just everyone, just to see everyone's face so that we can save that as well as part of our celebration of Women's Month today, before we proceed. Hello?
Yep, go for it.
Awesome, awesome. Can I ask everybody if they don't mind to please put their screens on? Yes. Oh, I see Nolwazi just went out. Oh, that was also not in the meeting. It's okay, it's okay. Just gonna quickly. I'm just gonna quick. Ozzy, can I possible for you to record running?
Can't hear you very well, Mordecai. I don't know if anybody else is having a similar problem.
Yeah, me too.
Can you say that again? Sorry, Mordecai, it was a bit clunky.
No worries, no worries. Ozzy, I was also see if it's possible for you to do a screenshot, please, because I've got two videos. Hello?
Yeah, I mean, I can do a screenshot. At the moment, I see just die on my camera. You wanted more
Because as
cameras
soon
up,
as I look at this way, it takes out. So I wanted to see.
I can do one.
I
I think I've got everybody except Neo, obviously, and the person who joined us.
Oh yes, oh yes. Okay. Oh, there's Neo. Finally, Neo. Please, can you open up your screen? We're just doing a quick screen recording. So, Momadi, what can we say? How will our cheese go? In 1, 2, 3, woman resilience, maybe? I don't know.
Multisystemic resilience.
In 1, 2, 3. Resilience. Ozzy, did our slides. Are we good?
I think we're good. Mordecai, I'm
Awesome.
wondering whether Neil will be able to maybe record his presentation and we can have it in the same place on YouTube or something so that we can still get that input.
Yes. Mamadi, I think for this one we might have a challenge because the recording has just been giving me challenges. So I just wanted to see if we can perhaps we are going to do an audio sort of a podcaster kind of situation with this. I'm recording everything. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a visual one. Hopefully the next time we'll be far more ready and prepared in regards to that.
It's fine. I just wondered whether maybe Neil could record his presentation at a different time and send it to us so that we can,
Of course,
you
of
can maybe
course.
add it? Because I would be very
Yes,
interested to hear his thoughts,
yes.
their thoughts.
Most definitely. I think because for the interest of time, maybe that would be the best option. Let us then perhaps make this a follow-up